Like the further down south you go, they're cheaper. So like in Florida, they're not that expensive. But if you're in the Midwest, they hitting you with that mangosteen. If you're on the West Coast, they're hitting you for that mangosteen. Definitely on the East Coast, they definitely taxing on the East Coast for the mangosteen. But like I said, if you gotta pay the cost to be the boss, like if you want to stay active, healthy, and fit, that's one of the best ways to go. I think a cheap substitute is like, I'm trying to think of it. I gotta punch it up. It's a fruit. I hope I'm saying it right. No, let me see. So a close second probably would be the dragon fruit that got similar properties to a mangosteen. Um, I'm trying to think of it. It's like it's like almost hexagon, like on the exterior of it. It's very sweet. But I can't think of it right now. On my next segment, I probably chime in with it. But I just want to get on to the next section so I can wrap this up. Oh, yeah. I'm looking for those. So my next section is my speaking points. And when my speaking point is basically about current events, doing my commentary, some sort of message. If I don't really have one, and I really don't have a speaking point today per se, but I think I did segue into it. Create healthy habits. That's at the foundation of living a healthy life. You got to create healthy habits, and the habits we want to create right now are long lasting. So right now, as I said, if you missed my broadcast on Thursday, we are at war. So the Tops shooting in Buffalo, New York, that should have been like get your head out of the clouds. The guy went in there with body armor. Before quarantine last year, we was being bombarded with police shootings and killings of black people. If it wasn't the police, it was just some random white person. If it wasn't just some random white person with the shooting and killing of black people, it was these Karens calling the police, sitting up there telling a bold-faced lie, talking about black people is bothering them, knowing they're not doing nothing to them. And the only way they got saved is that they had their phone out recording the Karen lying. So we was getting bombarded with that. And then after a while, they turned the Karen thing into a joke. Like, they start doing these little skits, and you can tell it was a Karen skit because the acting was horrible, like not even believable. It was just like white people trying to out white people each other, trying to out white privilege each other. So, like, we really was suffering from Karen attacks, but they sitting up there making jokes about it. But yeah, create healthy habits, and the healthy habits you can create is just daily routines. And something in your daily routine you need to do is read, because that's something we're not doing enough of. And when I say we, on my platform, I'm black, so I definitely, anytime I say we, I'm included in that. So I bring it to myself as well, is reading. If it ain't nothing but the back of a cereal box, read something every day. Preferably read a book though. Like if it ain't nothing but the comics in the newspaper, if people even read newspapers anymore, everybody pulls out their phone now to read something, but read. So, like, a good healthy habit is people waking up really early in the morning. They say people to wake up between the hours of 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. a.m. are extremely successful, highly wealthy, because they're getting up early. They're getting all their running done early in the morning. Like, they're up doing stuff, getting getting those brain functions, getting those neurons firing early in the morning. So you want to create healthy habits. You want to create a regimen. So you got to create a regimen for your brain as well, because your brain is the most important muscle in your body. Because you can injure your physical body and get, paralyzed tomorrow and be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. But you always have to think. And to fuel your brain, you need to read. So read a book, just 5 minutes a day. You don't have to read the entire book. Read a passage. Read a passage at a time of a book. Like I remember in school, that's one of the most important things that we used to have to do is book reports. And I had a teacher that you couldn't fake it, because some people would just read they had the synopsis of the book on the back, and they try to write the little synopsis. Nah, she wants to know who's the main character of the book, who's the side character, and what's the plot and supporting details in each chapter, stuff like that. Quotes and excerpts, stuff that will really have to require you reading the book to be able to answer it. True story. I was talking to somebody online. They said in their reading list, they read one of their favorite books was The Great Gatsby. I started quoting The Great Gatsby, and they didn't know a single excerpt from The Great Gatsby. But reading isn't just quoting, excerpts from the book. Like when you read a book, you got to read it from cover to cover. You got to read the table of contents, the appendages, the author's notes, their works cited page, the prefix. You got to read the entire book. The part of the book where they're giving special thanks. I mean, because like knowledge just ain't in books. Just like even, all knowledge is subjective because it depends on what perspective they're writing the book from. But my overall point is just to read. It'll help you with a lot. It'll help you develop, a rationale. You'll be able to process problems quicker. You'll be able to solve things by yourself quicker. So, like, I'm not definitely saying don't ask somebody, because nobody knows everything. So you definitely got to, eventually at some point in your life, ask somebody something like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do, how to do this? Whatever. But also read. It'll just strengthen, promote healthy brain functions, and just give you some core logic. Also, exercise regimen. If it's nothing but, touching your toes, 5 minutes of calisthenics, stretches, do some type of exercise every day. Also, a cleaning regimen. Clean something every day. Definitely clean your body, but, something in your home as well. In your home or outside of the home, in your yard. Do some type of cleaning. Practice being on time. We got that bad in our culture, that CPT time. Nah, be on time. Be there the time you say you're going to be there. Or actually be a couple minutes early. Like if you got a job or if you don't got a job, but especially if you got a job, be on time. Like if anything, be early. Be like, because don't be pulling on into the lot like 5 minutes before you got to clock in. Like if anything, you got to adjust for the traffic. You know what I'm saying? You got to allow yourself time to get there so you're not rushed. And then there's probably like a line forming at the clock. So you got to be on time. Like be in that general vicinity. Allow yourself enough time to just walk at a regular pace to your clock-in station. And you can hang out in the little wherever for like about 2 minutes to 5 minutes, or unless you're working somewhere that got a weird little rule about that. But be on time. Practice being on time. Not just, working for somebody else. If you're a business owner, your deadlines, do something you said you're going to do, have specific dates set up for yourself to get tasks done. Just, practice making a task list. 8:30, 2:30, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go here, I'm going to get this done. Be productive, but be on time. Manage your time wisely, because we're running out of time to do a whole lot of stuff. We're running out of time to do a whole lot of stuff. Like the landscape of this nation is changing, has changed, but it's going to change even more. So we got to be in a state of preparedness. And the best way we can be prepared is to be on time. If you ain't got to get ready if you stay ready. You stay ready by being on time. If somebody owes you some money, you gonna want them to pay you on time. So then why don't you pay somebody on time? If you owe something, pay it on time.